To import a file from Photoshop directly into the GSE is very easy when you use our Photoshop importer. As a demonstration, I've prepared some small Photoshop file containing of 2 dialogues. This one contains 2 buttons and a text field, and this one just 2 buttons and background image. And as you can see, the first layer is treated as the dialog name. So when I import this file into the GSE, on the first level there will be the dialogues, and inside the dialogues there will be some sub-elements like a group and this button and the image and so on. To create a specific Guiliani control type, like a button for example, you will need to use suffixes. So _btn is the suffix which says to the importer that this group and all layers contained inside this group should be imported as a button. So the text for the button, the image for the button and so on will be treated or will be combined into the button control inside the project. All these suffixes and also very detailed information can be found in the GSE manual in the chapter for the PSD importer. So we switch to the GSE and create a new project, and then we just import this file. So I name it PSD import. And then I say resources, import PSD file, and I select the PSD file, this one, click on open, and then I say OK. And in the next dialog, I can see on the right side the names of the dialogues as they appear in the PSD file. In this case, dialog 1, dialog 2. I can select, deselect these dialogues. When I only want to import one dialog, I can select only this one. And on the left side we have some options which can be used to modify the import. So the first one is import images. This is obviously a needed option because when you don't select this option, there will not be any image from the PSD file be imported. Second one, override existing images, says when you have already imported this PSD file or have any other image already with the same names as the names of the images which should be imported, then you can choose to override them or not. When you want to update images which have been already imported, then this option should be selected. On import dialogues, said that we want to import dialog into the project. So the first level in the PSD file will be used to identify dialogues. As the same for the images, when I re-import a PSD file, I can choose to override existing dialogues or just import new dialogues. Next one is create controls. Natively in the PSD file, only texts and images are present. So the Photoshop only knows these two controls or these two types of representations. And when you want to create a button, for example, you need to specify in the PSD file or name the layer accordingly. For the button, for example, _btn, so this suffix needs to be present. And when you want to import or create controls during the import, then you should select this option. Create text resources is used to create text resources from the texts of text fields, buttons, or whatever inside the PSD file. So when the importer finds a text, and this option is not selected, it will just import this text as it is. When I select this option, the importer creates a text resource. This is a GSE internal element or Guiliani internal element, which enables you to translate applications into different languages. So you just use text resources which have an ID, and you use this instead of a static text, and then you can switch languages during runtime. and the text of these different languages matching this ID will be switched during runtime. And the last one is, since the text rendering engine in Photoshop is somewhat different to the one which is used in the GSE, you might have minor alignment problems, or maybe the text will not appear as it has appeared in the Photoshop. If this is the case, just select this option and there will be some internal text correction be done for the text elements. So we just click on OK and the dialogues will be imported. So we have two dialogues, and this one has a text field and two buttons, GUI button, background image and the other one has two buttons and the background image. So what we are going now to do is to add some dynamic behavior. So we click on the goodbye button. This should terminate the application. Here you can see the text ID which has been created is named txti_goodbye, txti for imported text. And when I click on the button for the selection, I see the text which have been created inside this project, and you can see that hello, stop, goodbye, and animate, and welcome to Guiliani have been created as text IDs, so we can easily translate these texts into other languages and use them for multi-language applications. So our hello button will go to the next dialog. So we go to dialog 2, and then we go to dialog 2. In this one we will place a simple element, black rectangle, and add some dynamic animation. So we just record something. So we move it here and we move it here, we move it down, move it up, stop, just play it back. Okay, right, left, down. Okay, it works. So we connect this button with this animation. So when I click on this button, this animation will be started, and the other one will stop the animation. Now maybe I just duplicate this button to go back to the first dialog. So in this case I select dialog 1 and just select the text string, go back, and now I can save this project and start the simulator. So we see the beginning dialog. I click on hello, it moves to the second dialog. I click on animate, the animation will be started. I click on stop, the animation is stopped. I click on go back, it goes back to the first dialog. I click on goodbye and the application ends.